There are a number of associations connected to the design field that will increase your knowledge as well as give you possible leads for your business. Some of the associations you may want to look into are the Builders Association. This is an organization that consists of builders working in a particular area. They require the services of interior designers frequently. This is also a good place to meet business contacts for model home jobs and new homeowner color selections. Builders Association chapters typically hold meetings and have social functions. There is a yearly fee required to join. Check with your local association for specific information. The Board of Realtors. This organization is made up of real estate agents who also have a constant need for interior designers. For example, when an agent is representing a client who is selling a home, they may need new carpet or window coverings to make the home more marketable. That's where you come in. The agent has to feel confident in her recommendation, and once you build a relationship with her by doing a few quality jobs, the referrals will start coming with more frequency. The key to this association is to network, pass out your cards and ask for business. If you do quality work at reasonable prices, the word will get around. There is also a nominal fee involved for joining this group. Once again, do check with the group in your local area for specifics. Various apartment associations. The owners and managers of all apartment complexes must buy blinds, carpet and wallpaper. While this part of the business is extremely competitive, the model apartments and offices are not. Make contacts with the key people in the organizations and ask for a chance to bid on their upcoming jobs. Chambers of Commerce, small business associations and countless others. The more associations you join, the more networking you will do and the more business you will gain. I repeat, the more associations you join, the more networking you will do and the more business you will gain. The wonderful thing about this business is that everyone at one time or another will need your services. Join as many associations as you have time for. It's a great way to market your business. Further your education. It is not a bad idea in addition to your reading to take a few courses. With the number of people improving their lives through education, there are countless courses available. Many local community colleges offer a bachelor's degree in interior design. This is a great confidence booster. Some other courses you might consider are accounting, taxes, marketing, and basic business or entrepreneurship development classes. In addition to this, manufacturers put on seminars specifically planned for the design business, such as how-tos for the various products, installation guidelines, and tips for upselling to more expensive products. Be prepared. If this video has taught you anything, it is to be prepared before opening your business. When taking the leap from working for someone else to being your own boss, your road to success will be much less bumpy if you are prepared. Be realistic with yourself. And if you know of an area that you are weak in, work on it. Remember, the more you can plan while still on someone else's payroll, the better off you will be when you take that final exciting step toward your new independent lifestyle. Setting up shop. Among the many benefits of running a business from your home is that your office will be located approximately 1 minute from your bedroom. This can work either for or against you. You must be self-motivated to work out of your home because the distractions will be numerous. Your children will want your full attention. Your spouse will expect you to run errands in your spare time. Your friends will call daily wanting to gossip. The remote control will entice you and your house will probably never be cleaner. By the way, giving into such distractions is commonly known as procrastination. if you are a self-motivated person, as I suspect you are if you are still listening, you can overcome these obstacles. The first thing you should do is set up your workspace. It must be an area that is dedicated solely to your business. When you walk into this space, whether it's an entire room or a partitioned off section of a larger room, you are at work. This concept needs to be understood by your family members, friends, and most importantly, you. Interior design is a business of details, and you must be equipped to handle them. It would be ideal if you have an extra study or a bedroom that you can convert into an office, but if not, a partition section of your living room, kitchen or garage will do for starters. You need to take into consideration your individual needs. If you have children or other responsibilities, you need to keep that in mind when determining your office needs. Peace and quiet is something that should be considered when choosing your office space. So be sure to consider the noise level of the area as well as the traffic volume. You will be working on complicated bits and take a tremendous amount of concentration. What you will need? The items you need in your office are basic. Some people make the mistake of going to the office supply store and spending a bundle. There is no need to. When first opening a business, you just need the basics. Use the bulk of your startup capital for more important things such as samples and advertising. The projected startup cost worksheet in one of the future modules will help you plan more effectively. Displayed here is a list of necessities: desk, filing cabinet and storage cabinet. You can usually find this at a second-hand store or a discount office store reasonably priced, and you will need space to store your forms and miscellaneous office supplies. Basic office supplies. This includes paper, pens, paper clips, standard and expandable file folders, message pads, calculators, desktop and portable, a briefcase to be used on your appointment, and a BlackBerry. Again, these items can be bought at a discount office supply store. Computer. You will need a computer, either PC or a laptop, to keep track of your jobs, estimate jobs, stay on top of balance due, and perform your overall bookkeeping. In addition, it will be an invaluable source of quick information on everything from your competition to resources offered by local and national associations. If it's not in your budget at first, work towards buying one as soon as possible. Phone with voicemail. Add a second phone line dedicated entirely to your business. When you answer your business phone, you should answer in a professional manner, stating the name of your business. The problem with using a home line is that a child may answer or a client may call at an inappropriate time, costing you business. A good phone with 2 or 3 incoming lines is best. When customers call and continuously get a busy signal, they may give up and call somebody else. An answering machine can also be a hindrance. Some people have a problem leaving a voice message. If you do decide to use an answering machine, make sure you buy one that will allow you to pick up your messages throughout the day. Returning phone calls promptly can make the difference between INR 1000 or INR 1 lakh a day. That's Indian currency. Another great option is to buy a phone with a distinctive ring feature. This will allow you to differentiate between business and personal calls. A good answering machine, a good answering service. When searching for a service to do business with, ask for referrals and call them. Then call the companies at a time when the service is answering for them. This will tell you everything you need to know about the company. Cellular phone. Nowadays, most business people must be readily available. By carrying a cell phone and printing the cell number on your business cards, you will ensure that your customers can always find you. Fax machine. This item will become increasingly important as your business grows. It's a real-time saver when placing orders. Sometimes, depending on the number of orders you have to place, it can take up to an hour to call them in. If you are dealing with commercial bids, a fax machine is a must. Commercial clients expect to fax you information and for you to promptly send back a reply. There will be times when even a residential customer will ask that a big bid will fax over. If you decide to buy a fax machine, make sure you buy one with a copy option. You will make a lot of copies in this business and will eventually need a copier, but a fax copier is fine in the beginning. Look for a combo machine that offers fax, printer and scanner in one. This will not only save you space, but as of this writing, you can pick one for under INR rupees 10,000. Forms and documents. We will go into more details on this later, but for now know that they are numerous. You will need a place to store them, such as a filing cabinet. Tape measure. This item deserves a paragraph for itself. If you do not know how to use and read a tape measure, start practicing now. You will need to take measurements for everything that you sell. Most of the items measured will be taken to 1/8 inch. More about this in future modules. Business cards, letterhead, envelopes and postage. These things are all wise investments for any business. When you send out correspondence, you will want to project a professional image, and you will need business cards in many situations. These are a form of advertising for your company and should be the best you can afford. Camera. You will want to start a portfolio that includes your best jobs as soon as you can. Some customers will request to see your portfolio before doing business with you. Shoot in color and try to make a focal point of each picture your work that you want displayed. Until you are able to put together a portfolio with pictures of your jobs, use magazine pictures that reflect your style. As you get more and more of your own pictures, replace the magazine pictures with them, and before long you will have a professional portfolio. A good digital camera will allow you to take both high resolution photos for your portfolio as well as lower resolution images for website or internet advertising. If you are still using a film camera, you can use your scanner to produce images for the web, or ask for digital files on a CD when you have your film developed. Storage space. Another area important to your business is the storage space needed for your samples. Among the samples you will have to inventory are fabric for draperies and upholstery, mini blinds, vertical blinds, shutters, wallpaper, carpet and other flooring, bedding and paint, just to name a few. If your office is large enough, you can set up your samples on a wall with one of the various sample rack systems available. Some of your sales representatives will try to sell you the costly racks that have been designed for their samples, but unless you are in a showroom setting, they are not worth the money. Remember, no one will sell them but you. Off-site storage space. You will also need a space for incoming products. Some of the products, such as long vertical blinds or carpet rolls, can be quite large and require a lot of storage space. Most carpet delivery companies will not deliver a roll of carpet unless there is a forklift on the premises. A forklift. Have you ever tried lifting a roll of carpet by yourself? Since manually lifting the carpet is out of the question, you will need to find a place that has a forklift you can use. The best solution is a local freight company or warehouse. Call some companies and explain that you need to hire them to receive your carpet purchases. They will give you their guidelines and explain their rates to you. Choose one, then simply list the company's address on the order form when ordering the carpet, and it will be delivered to that address. Your carpet installer will pick it up from there. The freight company or warehouse will charge you a predetermined fee on each delivery. Negotiate to pay monthly. This is the most convenient method. Your garage or storage shed will serve your purposes for the rest of your deliveries. Make sure that your storage space will stay dry in a bad weather, because you will be receiving fabrics and other delicate goods. You will also have UPS and other delivery companies knocking at your door daily. Build a rapport with the drivers so that they will leave the delivery in an appropriate place and knock out in the rain when you are not at home. Use a bonded warehouse. Be sure the warehouse you choose to accept your carpet or furniture is insured against damage after it is received by the warehouse. You may need to leave some products longer than usual due to a delay in construction. Be safe. Your car. You will have a second office while operating your new business. Your car. Between running to and from appointments and marketing your business, most of your time will be spent in your office, away from your office. Because of this, it is best to drive a car that has a large trunk space and is comfortable. A minivan is used frequently in this business because it's easy to keep your samples and paperwork organized. Of course, when starting out, you should work with what you have. You will carry with you the samples that you tend to use the most along with the price list that go with them. This will eliminate the need to lug them to and from your office daily. Business cards, a tape measure, a portable calculator, invoices and a notebook will also be carried in your car. There will be times when you are marketing in a neighborhood and a homeowner will ask you to come in and give an on-the-spot estimate. It's hard to keep your car efficient and organized without a system. Set up boxes in the trunk and put the samples in them, arranging them according to the frequency of use. Another box in the back seat can hold the price list, invoices and other paperwork. In addition to that, your briefcase that you carry with you at all times should hold your business cards, pens, calculator, tape measure and duplicates of any forms you might need. It sounds like a lot of pre-planning and backup, but it's necessary in order to appear professional. Designers will frequently win bids from competitors whose clients lost faith in them because they were messy and unorganized. Always present yourself as a professional and you will be that much ahead of your competition. So friends, that's it for now. I'm now excitedly looking forward to connect with you in my next video. Till then, let's work together and achieve peace of mind, financial freedom and a career for life. Thank you.